Big Sky Pressure collide. A high-stakes heavyweight fight is set to unfold. The Bengals arrive for an air raid, eager to attack the edges and arc the deep ball into the autumn sky. They'll push pace, press early, and play with fearless. But Montana State's defense is built on bruises and bad intentions, disguised looks, downhill pursuit, and a secondary stalks the football like it's theirs by right. Idaho State may float it, but the Bobcats plan to finish it. The crowd roaring, stakes rising, and every snap soaked in significance. Big Sky action is next on Scripps Saturday Showdown. Well, you know the gray and wet weather in the fourth wasn't going to keep the fans away as the Bobcat faithful are ready for a showdown between longtime Big Sky foes as a dangerous Idaho State squad invades the Gallatin Valley to square up against the number 5 team in the land in Montana State. Welcome to Bozeman, everyone. Ben Creighton, the former DC, Ty Gregorak, Grace Lawrence also coming up in just a bit. And Ty, I'm sure you remember the days in the Big Sky where teams would just throw it all over the yard. We see a blast from the past today with 2 dynamic quarterbacks and some tall drinks of water at wideout.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those maybe old school Big Sky type games, man. I mean, you look at Justin Lamson right here. Great throw last week to Jabez Woods, and Jabez has kind of come on the scene lately. I mean, he's kind of a big threat guy to them now. I like the way Lamson's playing though, buddy. I mean, he is 3 right now in the FCS in completion percentage. He's been very sharp with the ball. No turnovers in the last few weeks. I like the way this young man's playing, man.
Yeah, 72% completion percentage, a wide variety of throws. But if you want to talk about slinging it, Jordan Cook, one of the top passers in the country, is coming off a career performance in that loss against Montana.
Oh, he played his butt up, but I mean, that's the thing, like 54 pass attempts, man. I mean, Sean Howe's defense is going to have their work cut out. I like this kid, though. He has got a big arm, maybe the biggest arm, just natural arm in the Big Sky. I'm fired up to watch him play.
And his decision-making has been improved this season, and he's got some big receivers that can deliver the ball.
My goodness, I mean, 6'6", 6'4". It's like you and I out there playing receiver, Ben. I mean, but this kid, 6'6", Mike Shulikov, also a high jumper. I mean, catch radius is amazing. It's going to be a very interesting matchup when we look at the next graphic coming up with the secondary, the defensive backs for Montana State. They're going to have to be very, very sharp in their zone coverages. We're going to play a lot of that match coverage, but as defensive back Coach Green said, hey, we got to win at the line of scrimmage. We got to be physical. We got to be sticky. Very intriguing matchup today.
Yeah, called them gritty, talking about that secondary. For the running attack, Dason Brooks, I mean, he's a physical ball carrier, man.
Yeah, he is. As Coach Cody Hawkins said, he's a different cat, man. He is. He again, like I said in the studio hit, the best air raid-ish type offenses still can establish the run game, and they have to do that today if they think they got a chance.
Well, you want to talk about physical guys in the running game? Julius Davis, just such a beast and so competitive for Montana State.
He's really come strong the last few weeks, man. I mean, you can see he's healthy. He's been physical. You can see this play right here, which I guess went viral on the Sports Center top 10, but he's really playing well, and I like what he's doing for that backfield.
They even used your call on Sports Center last week.
I guess they did. That's what I heard.
Well, a rainy day here in Bozeman, but sticking to offenses, Grace Lawrence has a whole lot more on another standout Bobcats and Dollar. Hi, Grace.
Hi, guys. Yeah, Montana State's coming off a big road win against NAU, and we wondered as this team came together, who would be that emotional leader for this squad? And when they've needed a spark, Taco Dowler is always there to provide it. Post-game last week, he told me he likes being the spark. Wide receivers coach Nix really puts trust in him that he can be that guy. Deacon said they knew from his freshman year he would be this kind of reliable, consistent guy for the team. It's also his offensive intangibles. Redshirt freshman wide receiver Jabez Woods, how much trust he has in the younger guys like him. Deacon mentioned the selflessness. Taco wanting to get everyone in the room involved, and they're going to need him today, guys.
Yeah, you can see the maturity from Taco Dowler even very early on in his collegiate career here in Bozeman. As we take a look at our Stockman Bank weather for today's game, 53 degrees. in the forecast, but I got to be completely honest with you, Ty. For me, this is football weather. The only thing that would be better today is if we had snow falling here at Bobcat Stadium.
Well, give it time, Ben. I think our beautiful fall is officially over. It's Montana, so you never know. But yeah, it is definitely fall, and I'm excited to watch these two outfits play, man. It's going to be a big game with Idaho State. You know, they've only got the 2 losses. If they can get a win today and make a run, they've got a chance. And then obviously Montana State is going after another Big Sky championship.
Mason Lindbergh delivers a touchback, and the Bobcat offense will start this afternoon. And Justin Lamson will lead this offense onto the field. And man, what a get for the Bobcats. The transfer out of Stanford, tough as nails, and can do so much in the pocket and with his feet.
Yeah, he's been a big get for this Cat offense. Love the way he's playing. I think he's just gotten better and better every week.
And again, we highlighted it at the open. Right now, third in the FCS, 72% completion percentage. And like I mentioned, so good in the pocket. And that's something that he's really worked on as the season has gone on, being more patient in the pocket as they'll start with 4 wide on first down. Lamson with a clean pocket, quick hitter on the far side, breaking away from a tackle, Ryan Schlepp, as he gets pushed out of bounds. And that's big for that Montana State offense, again, with Hunter Province going down last week against Northern Arizona. And we take a look at our players to watch, sponsored by the Jewelry Design Center. Ty, I know you really like Ryland Leathers on that Idaho State defense.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar theme here. Highlighted both nickels and the safeties here. I just think all 4 of those guys are going to have to step up big time for their defenses today with the throwing prowess of the 2 offenses.
Knifing right through the defenders and getting near midfield. Adam Jones, of course, today's players, sponsored by the Jewelry Design Center, as Jake East wrestles him down.
You know, I was kind of curious, just, you know, seeing a couple of the big tight ends go down in Flagstaff last week. That first play where you said it was 4 wide, they still had Hunter Province and Rocky Lancioni in the game. They just spread them out.
Second and 4. Drop from Lamson. And another quick hitter. And that'll be enough for a first down. That one complete. As Noah Kaleke was there for the tackle.
Yeah, just a little spot route here by Ryan King. You know, setting his feet right at the sticks. Good job by him. Good sharp route. Kind of curious to see, you know, we saw a bunch of rain. You know, how the conditions down there, wet the ball can get, wet the field can get. You got to keep their feet.
Straight up the middle, Adam Jones. Yeah, that was a point I was going to talk to you about when Idaho State came on the field, with how prolific that passing attack will be today.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I can't really tell. It looks like the weather's kind of calmed down a little bit. It was dang 75 degrees yesterday, and then, of course, for the football game, it's raining, and you never know. If the temperature drops, we might get a little snow.
And it's only going to get colder in the next couple of days here in the Gallatin Valley. 2nd and 5. Up the gut. Lamson breaks away into the second level, past the 30, and taken down from behind. And another strong run by Justin Lamson. Ryland Leathers there from behind.
I love these sets, and so this is 20 personnel with two backs in the game. They just have a very creative offense, and this was just that read. And I love Lamson right there. And he feels like he's going to get hit, and he really tucks that football away. Again, this guy's been very dangerous on his feet.
23-yard pickup there by QB1. Dollar motions, faking the sweep. Lamson again with an eternity of time. And these are delivered, and the ball is loose. Julius Davis able to cross the goal line, and they're going to rule it a touchdown as Julius Davis gets the TD.
Well, this is a great play call by Pete Sturbuck. They just kind of hit Julius up the seam there.
The ruling on the field was the score occurred prior to the loss of control of the ball.
You know, just as I was giving praise to Lamson, tucking that ball, you know, right here at the end, he's got to be very stout with that football, man, because you never know. We saw it last week in the NFL where the running back dropped the ball right at the goal line, lost him a game. He just
the previous play and the ruling of his score is under video review.
Yeah, this will be interesting. The referee on the far side called a touchdown. He called a touchdown because he saw the ball break the plane. I'd have a tough time believing they could overturn this. The original play call, or the original call, was a touchdown here.
Julius Davis, I mean, from that angle, clearly.
It's a touchdown.
Yeah, clearly.
Touchdown.
Clearly crossed the plane. Julius Davis hauling in a catch here. We talk so much about Adam Jones, how this Montana State coaching staff regards him as the best receiving running back. Julius Davis making the squeeze there.
Yep. No, great play call. Kind of had that Idaho State defense, little bit of a busted coverage there. To me, it's very clear the ball crosses the plane, should be 6 points, Cats.
If it stands, it would be a 22-yard pitch and catch for 6 from Lamson to Julius Davis. And meanwhile, on the opposite side, this is not the start defensively that Cody Hawkins was looking for.
No, it isn't, and made a couple changes last year with the staff.
Review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
He brought in Grant Duff after a long career at Weber State, and Weber State just, having a ton of run-ins with them. They always played very, very salty defense. Absolutely not how you want to start defensively. They basically drove down at their own will and scored.
And this was after he said he thought his defense played well last week in Pocatello against the Grizz. Switching from that 3-3-5 to the 4-2-5. As the PAT is good. A quick start for Montana State. As you go back, arts and crafts time.
Well, it's a tight view right there, but again, great play call. They kind of hit Julius Davis there out of the backfield, having him run up the seam there. Just didn't account for him, and sure enough, 6 points. Good start by the Bobcat O.
First receiving touchdown. And I talked about the defense for Idaho State. That D-line is really stout. We'll get into that a little bit later, but the secondary has struggled this season, and that was on full display right there with the Cat throwing attack able to take advantage.
You are exactly right.
Back down to Grace Lawrence.
Yeah, guys, last week, Julius Hurdle for a touchdown came in at number 2 on the SportsCenter top 10. All about the team's success. Montana State gave him a renewed love of the game when he transferred in a couple years ago. Even when he was granted the medical red shirt last season, he knew he wanted to spend his final year of college ball here. He said when you've spent time other places and then come here, you know why you want to stay, guys.
Yeah, he even said he found his love of football again. As Ian Duarte will call fair catch. You want to talk about gunslingers, Ty? Jordan Cook just slinging it all over the yard last week in the CCU Dome. Just a rocket arm for that Bengal offense.
Well, 421 yards on 54 attempts. He's thrown 5 this year, but when you're throwing the ball, Ben, 50 to 60 times a game, that's not too bad. He had a career day last week versus the Grizz. Like I said in the open, I'm excited to watch him. 6'4", 234 pounds. He's a big kid back there. I'm fired up. Sean Howe's defensive plan. He doesn't get sacked much, Ben. He's only been sacked 1 time. I'd be shocked if you ever see much more than 4 rushers coming after this kid.
Well, they'll keep it on the ground on their first play of the series. Dason Brooks able to churn for a couple yards. Paul Brought wrestles him down.
And that's, when you get a passing offense as a defensive coordinator, you immediately want to bring the house and blitz them, but they get rid of the ball so fast. I would imagine we're going to see a very healthy dose of both 4-man rush and maybe even some max drop where they're only bringing 3 guys.
Well, that was a point of emphasis for Cody Hawkins before the season. They wanted to beef up that O-line a whole lot more and obviously be more complimentary with the running game. Cook, time, sidearm, incomplete. Intended for Ian Duarte, 3rd down.
Well, and this is where that D-line is so special. Last week, you're only getting maybe 3, 4, 5 quarterback hurries and sacks a game, but they are disruptive. They were so disruptive on Pennington last week. About 20 to 24 different times they were affecting the quarterback, and that's what they have to do today. They're not going to get a ton of sacks, but they have to affect Cook in order for this defense to be successful.
Well, they really took away the deep ball and those passes to the 2nd and 3rd level as Cook offense faces 3rd down and 9. Cook on the slant. Michael Shulikov going to his top target, but will be well short of the first marker. Bryce Grebe brings him down.
And this is what I'm talking about here, Ben. So they walked up both Taylor and Grebe here in a mug linebacker stance. So they're showing 6 at the line of scrimmage. All right, but again, as a defensive coordinator, you got to kind of pick your battles here. They dropped him out, and sure enough, it was Bryce Grebe on the tackle bring out the punt team, kick it on fourth.
And again, this guy has been electric in the punt return game the last couple of years. Taco Dowler back to return. The special teams player of the week in the Big Sky. 90-yard punt return for 6 last week in Flagstaff. The longest in Bobcat program history. He'll take it from the 15. Dowler looking for a window. Hesitates. Still dancing. Spinning away from a tackle. And we'll get wrapped up at around the 26-yard line. Well, like Grace mentioned, Julius Davis, he's embracing his home here in Bozeman as he gets the Bobcats into the blue turf first. 7-0 lead for number 5 Montana State.
Today's game is sponsored by Idaho State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
The tailgate scene always great here at Bobcat Stadium. Great shots from earlier today just before the clouds and the rain rolled in. But certainly the fans excited for this start. Bobcat Stadium. Quick 7-0 lead for number 5 Montana State. Lamson gets hit as he throws, gets it to Taco Dowler, who makes the catch. Bouncing to the outside. Dowler with a stiff arm and a first down. One play, one first down. Bobcat offense.
Yeah, they started him out. They kind of brought him in on a little zen motion here to kind of a bunch tight end set. 2 tight ends in the game, 12 personnel. Keep getting the ball to that guy right there. We just talked about the school record last week. Very dynamic player out of Billings, Montana.
11 yards for a first down, moving the sticks. Lamson a perfect 4 for 4 far with 52 yards as Schlepp is the man, the tight end. Julius Davis weaving. And gets to about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, little split on here, Ben. And, with some of the health issues in the tight end room, we're going to start seeing number Lubens Valson. We were talking to Coach Vegan this week. He said, he's a lot like Rohan Jones, Derek Snell, probably one of the most explosive players in that tight end room. He's a youngster, but I think we're going to start calling his name a lot more.
Well, you saw Rocky Linchuni there. Of course, had a touchdown last week at NAU, the local product out of Bozeman, as Julius Davis through the window. Still on his feet, past the 30, and Julius Davis, such a physical runner as he gets Bengal territory.
Well, it's a great hustle play by middle linebacker Nathan Reynolds here. Fortunately, he had to do it about 3 yards down the field. Well blocked, nice run by Julius Davis here. He makes the first guy there, and Ryan Leathers. Big Julius has had some back-to-back weeks on the ball hard.
35-yard pickup. Jones leaves the backfield. Lamson looks left. He'll take off again. He's got open space and just lowers his shoulder and plows past the 15-yard line and moves the chains.
And they motioned Adam Jones out here into a quad set and kind of ran a wheel route. I think they were looking for Jabez Wood. This is what I like about Lamson, though, man. It's not there. Don't throw a stupid ball. Take what they give you, run for the first down. Now you got first down on the 15.
89% in the AVA red zone this season, Montana State. Yeah, I mentioned it at the top. Has really grown in his pocket presence, knowing when to take off. On the slant, an easy connection. Touchdown, Montana State. Dane Steele hauls it in.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman out of Sheridan, Wyoming, man. He's you see that guy. Jabez Wood has been making his name, but Dane Steele's just been steady Eddie all season for him, and you can see that rain starting to come down a little bit. He said now that's 2 touchdowns, both through the air. Good sharp route there by Dane Steele to go up another 6 points.
It's really stepped up with Chris Long having to miss the first couple of games, but you got a last name like Steele, the lineage here in Bozeman, you know he's going to make plays. And what a start for Montana. 2 drives, 2 trips to the end zone. Some happy Bobcats. Titan Fleischman into your living room. Time to check in with this week's Williams Plumbing and Heating poll. Since the NCAA started recognizing as an official stat in 2000, which one of these players had the most in a single season? And I think I know what a lot of people are probably going to guess out of 4. That's just me. So
I know who's recently inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That being said, I feel like it's Chris Gokon. I can't remember. I think it's a trick question, or it might just be Jared Allen.
Duarte bobbles it, able to pick it up, runs into his own man on special teams, and not much going there for the Bengal return squad. As we go back to that TD connection tie from Justin Lamson to Dane Steele.
You bet, Ben, where you can just see Dane Steele. He's right up there at the top of the screen. You got trips into the boundary with that tight end. Just a good sharp route right there. And again, you know, we got a little bit of a problem coverage-wise. Just busted coverages here by Idaho State. Good sharp route by Dane Steele.
And again, that Idaho State secondary has had problems this season. Looking to respond down 14-0 out into the flat. Nowhere to go there. Damian Morgan taken down by Seth Johnson.
I like this youngster out of Frisco, Texas, man. You know, again, just talking to Coach Green this week. They practice and preach physicality, and I love the way it's all about leverage. Coach Vegan always talks about leverage, leveraging the football, leveraging on your tackles. Played by him. Very, very fired up the way Coach Green and others have this secondary playing, man.
Split wide out, second down. They go to the ground. Dason Brooks, not much past the 10. And I want to ask you more about the secondary. I mean, what does this young MSU secondary have done so well to kind of quell some doubts about them coming into the season with all that youth?
Yeah, I think it's tough to find length, speed, and willingness to tackle on your positions, and especially at the FCS level. And they've done a great job recruiting those guys and then developing them, coaching them up.
3rd down and 10. 3 receivers near side. They go to Duarte. Duarte getting a hole, and to the 20. It'll be about a yard short of the first down marker. And now a word from the Jewelry Design Center.
More choices. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life. Come see us in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
So on 4th and short, Cody Hawkins will send out the punt team. But Taco Dowler will once again be back to return this.
Yeah, it's a good decision, other than you got 14 back there, who is a very scary person to be kicking the ball to. We're probably not going to see it, Ben, but that's exactly what I was talking about. Those DBs leveraging the ball, allowing the inside linebacker to come scrape and make the football play.
High booming punt there, and this time Dowler will just call fair catch. And the Bobcat offense just clicking, already 149 yards, and with a 2 TD lead. With Pete Sturbick taking over OC duties here in Bozeman. They wanted to be more complimentary with the Bobcat offense, and it's really been this season and so far today on the first 2 drives.
Ben, I think back to that Mercyhurst game. You know, there was a lot of chatter. A lot of people, you know, around Bobcat Nation that, you know, weren't loving what they're seeing. And you talk about, and these dudes just look like they're on a mission, because offensively they've been clean. They've been rolling people ever since that game, man. Of course, they have the ball back. Idaho State's gonna have to find some hurry.
Lamson pulls and ripped down in the field. But on the opposite end of the field, that Idaho State D-line can get it done. Jackson Irwin pounces on Justin Lamson.
It's a nice play here by Irwin. You can see they were rushing 3, and then Irwin was just kind of adding on, kind of green dogging to the quarterback. Nice job by him. And again, Idaho State, if there has been a positive for this Idaho State defense, they've been very, very active on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Just 3 sacks per game in the top 20 nationally. Jones faking the fly sweep as Lamson will tuck and run and turn forward for a few yards. Fans, make sure to send in your submissions to the Fan Zone, sponsored by Marsh McLennan Agency. We've been getting a lot of really great submissions throughout the last couple of weeks, whether you're here in Bozeman or down in Pocatello or wherever you're watching. Make sure to send in your submissions, scan the QR code right there, and you might see yourself on TV later on in the game. And now a 3rd and 16 for the Bobcat offense. Split receivers for Lamson. Three men come at him. Lamson buying time, still looking for available wide receivers. Now with an eternity of time, Lamson, as he throws a duck, incomplete.
Well, this is fantastic coverage. Okay, and I'm gonna stop right there. This all started by that first down sack. All right, that's a great job by Coach Huff's defense. And here's what they're doing. They're only rushing, right? So there's 8 men in coverage back here. You can see it's a 3-high look, and they just kind of glue on at the end. Lamson looked like Dane Steele open. But again, that all started with that first down sack. Nice job by Coach Huff and his defense there, and a much needed stop for Idaho State there.
Because again, this defense does have potential. That one close to being blocked, as Ian Duarte will just let it bounce. And around the 34-yard line, Idaho State will come back on the field.
I'd love to see a tight replay of this. Somebody did get maybe a hand on it.
Like a fingernail or something.
Because the ball didn't look like it came off very clean. That being said, the weather doesn't look real. I'm glad you and I are inside today, man. I'll say that.
Well, I feel bad for Grace Lawrence, and the rest of our crew have to brave the elements, but they always do a tremendous job, and a big thanks to them for sticking it out on a wet day here in Bozeman. So a good defensive stop by this Bengal defense, and now Jordan Cook in the offense looking to get something going. Right now only 16 total yards in their first 2 drives. Play fake, Cook, clean pocket. He lets it fly deep, and that one right into the breadbasket, into Montana State territory. Zion Nunnally with the squeeze.
And this is, it's sixes, man. It's, half a dozen one hand, 6 in the other. You don't want to blitz, but, you also can't give the quarterback this much time. That's a professional ride right there, Ben. 8 seconds he had back there to find that open receiver. Lucky it wasn't a PI. Being said, that was a big explosive play. Idaho State gets points here. I mean, the narrative's changing.
4 wide, going to the tunnel screen. Bobbled, not only still able to hold on and getting into the red zone. And a big thing, too, for Idaho State, we talked about the receiving core. With Jordan Cook having so much time, this line in Pocatello is absolutely phenomenal. They've only allowed 1 total sack all season.
Yeah, and I think it was on a busted play. I mean, they are keeping their big quarterback clean. He's been a little bit. Of course, when you go 2 FBS programs in UNLV and New Mexico, I joke with Cody 3 years in, it's like, what are we doing? But we're competitive in both those games.
They continue to grow in Pocatello under Hawkins. Batted, incomplete. Hunter Parsons was able to get a hand on that. And a dominant O-line, like mentioned, at Idaho State. Only 1 sack allowed. And that gives Jordan Cook so much time to operate, giving him time to throw the ball. You see it right there, the improvement. And Cody Hawkins, again, stressed this at Big Sky kickoff back in July. Wanted to build the line a whole lot more, and boy, have they lived up to that billing on 3rd down.
Yeah, they don't really recruit tight ends. They recruit fullbacks. You're going to see a lot of personnel. That's what they recruit.
On the slant, making the grab. Yep, hauled in. Mike Shulikov gives him a 1st down.
I love this guy, man. I mean, 6'6", former high jumper that wanted to come out to the football team. Stretches all 6'6" out there to get the 1st down, and nice drive. Good stop by the defense. Great drive by the offense. Again, they put points on the board here. We got a game.
Well, he even said people think the high jump is what made him good at football. He said it was the opposite. Carson Sudbury to the ground game, who's kind of been a breakout star in that running back room for Idaho State.
Well, and I can tell you this, the people watching on TV, the people in the crowd, they're pleased to see a jersey number out there, and that's number 19. Neil Daly is back. He is healthy. He has been out for about a month now or more. Good for that defense.
Screen. Twisting and turning to the 10, Ian Duarte.
It's a good job by Duarte, because this is what I'm talking about now. Takari Carr just sees it, great, step, boom. He shoots it. He's the one that bubbles this play. Again, nice job by Duarte, getting a little something extra. But that's that is what Coach Vegan is talking about, the leverage on this defense. You got to leverage the football always, and they've done a great job doing it this year.
On 3rd and 8, Cook lofts it for the end zone, incomplete, but a flag flies as he tried to find Mike Shulikov.
Well, I think they're going to call defensive holding here. There's some palms up going on in the secondary.
Holding. defense, number 18. Half the distance to goal and an automatic. First down.
Rob Quello, our white hat this afternoon, going on Neil Daly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be down here. Well, yeah, let me see here. Right here, I think it's Daly. I was just talking about how it's good to have him back, but you can't do that, young man. I want to see if they get this big tailback, Dason Brooks, involved down here.
Big thighs can really churn. It's going to be Cook on the quarterback design keeper. Nowhere to go. Cole Taylor, who filled in for Neil Daly, brings him down.
Coltrane Taylor with the big stop there. I mean, again, this linebacker core. A lot of Billings boys, a lot of Great Falls boys, and one young man from Melstone. Great stop by him. Remember when I was talking about maybe giving Mason the ball? They maybe should have done that. Or, I'm sorry, Mason. Dason Brooks. Ben, apologies.
The second leading rusher in the Big Sky behind Eli Gilman. Having a tremendous campaign out in Missoula. Under 90 ticks left here in the first. Cook to the air again. Flushed out. But again, he's dynamic. On the run, back of the end zone. Wide open, touchdown, Idaho State. Who else is top target? And Mike Shulikov with his 4th TD of the season.
This is a great play by Cook. This is a great play by Shulikov. Again, 6'6" in the back of the end zone. What I don't love, though, is Hunter Parsons is just getting held on the edge. We're not going to see it. My goodness, he was getting held. And, you know, again, sometimes they call him, sometimes they don't. You just got to play. Great job by Cook extending the play. Nice drive by Idaho State.
As Trajan Sinatra bangs it through. And by the way, remains perfect in field goal kicking this season. But that just goes back to Jordan Cook, man. I mean, we watched it last week against Montana. He could still just throw dimes even while on the run.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his quarterback coach, you know, you want to throw across your body here. Watch, though, this is what I was talking about down here. I thought Hunter Parsons was getting held right here at the end before he, anyway, again, you never come to the sideline and say, Coach, I was being held. I used to get really upset when my guys would tell me they were holding. I'd say there's no such thing as holding in football, unless of course they call it,
right?
Which is, but nice job by Cook, and boy, that Shulikov, man, that is 6'6" with a catch radius that's more like 7'6". He's special.
And a deep threat as well. 19 yards per catch this season. Jacob Trimble and Jabez Woods back to return for Montana State. And once again into the end zone.
I'm excited to see how Montana State offensively responds here. You know, for clicking on all cylinders in their first couple drives to give up a big sack behind the chains. And then ultimately have to punt after 3 and out.
Well, the biggest thing Bregame highlighted after that win at NCAAF, because again, it was a slow start for Montana State. There was no sense of panic whatsoever. The offense can look out there and see the defense doing everything they can, vice versa. So we'll see what the offense does here as Julius Davis up the gut.
You got level 1 by the back, just inside zone. Good job by that O-line. Get about 7 yards on first down running the football. That's a big win.
7-yard gain. Back to Davis. And past the line of gain. First down for Montana State. Right now, 83 yards on the ground for Montana State, 67 through the air. That continued complimentary game, and time going to beat you to it. 6-7.
6-7, Ben. I tell you, that was a good drive, though, because I think going into that drive for Idaho State, they maybe had 16 total yards.
Adam Jones. And Laundry on the field as he gets enough for a first down.
Boy, that was brutal last week in terms of just sheer penalty. Almost 20 penalties last week on both teams, obviously.
The result of the play is a touchdown. Personal foul, face mask. Number 13 of the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Well, Ben,
I think Rob that first down. The whole Bobcat crowd erupted like it had been the most unorthodox touchdown we'll see in college football.
You're going to watch it right here at the end, right there.
Davion Ross, the guilty party, by the way.
Yeah. Definitely not a touchdown. However, got a big explosive run, followed up with 15-yard personal foul. You know what we should do? We should go to quarter.
As that will complete the first 15 minutes.
Timeout on the field.
A lot of offense between two high-powered O's in the Big Sky. 14-7 and a fun one early in mid-October.
Today's game is sponsored by Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, Montana Chevy Dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
245 combined yards of offense so far between Montana State and Idaho State as we start the second quarter. Lamson again on the fake sweep, weaving his way through. And past the 25 again. Lamson, man, when he sees an opening with those legs, he just takes it upfield. Hard to stop him.
It is, and you're going to see right here, big Titan Fleischman right there in the middle. Young man out of Pocatello. Look at him. He just keeps driving those feet. What a great get. Going to another Big Sky opponent's hometown and snatching one of the best old linemen out of the area. I love that kid. I think he's got a chance to play on Sundays.
Of course, comes from a very athletic family who went to Idaho State. New set bounce. Handoff. Adam Jones breaking through, slashing right through. Touchdown, Montana State.
Slicker than snot on a doorknob, Ben. My goodness, great blocking by the O-line. And some poor tackling there by the Idaho State defense. Little split zone here. Again, great job by the big boys up front, blocking all the way down to the whistle. On that guy, number 23, out of Missoula, Montana, Adam Jones.
TD run number 6 for Adam Jones here in 2025. And banging up the upright, no good.
Ben, it wouldn't be a Bobcat game without a special team something, but it still went through, Ben.
Well, you can see last week against NAU just how upset Brent Vegan was with the special team. Adam Jones getting the Bobcat faithful happy, 27. Adam Jones once again finds the end.
Yeah, I told you we were going to keep calling out the name of that young tight end, Luvens Valsen. That's just split zone right there. Great job by the front five. And again, for that quiet year, all Adam Jones does is score every game. So he's doing a heck of a job. You can see him down there talking to his coach.
And there should be another touchback. And you nailed it right there. He may not be racking up the yards like we saw last year on his way to being the big freshman of the year, but he's still finding the end zone. How has he still been beneficial to the running attack for Montana State?
Because he's a great player, and they do a lot with him. I mean, he is all over. He's that slot receiver. He's in the backfield. They put him all over the field to get him the football. No, not having yardage-wise a big season, but he's a highly productive player, Ben, and every offense in this league would love to have a guy like him.
Idaho State looking to punch back. 4 wide, 3 receivers on the near side. They go to Nunnally again and escorted out of bounds. Let's go back down to Grace Lawrence, who's joined by a special guest.
Yeah, guys, I'm Wes Wilson, a friend of the program by now. I mean, what is it like to be back in Bobcat? You spoke at the gala last night. What's this place mean to you?
It means everything to me. It's kind of what my speech was about last night. It was the first time I've actually wear a suit and be really dialed in. I couldn't just tailgate and have fun last night, but this is my second home. It means the world to me, and I love everyone here so much. I think we're about to get scored on.
We got a big play, Ben?
Zion Nunnally taking it all the way. Touchdown, Idaho State. There's that passing attack. I mean, it could strike just like that, Ty.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have ended in that result. I mean, obviously the guy that everyone's going to see is Caden Dowler missing the tackle here at that post-safety position right there. Really a nice strike by Cook, though. Big time. I mean, again, these receivers, man. And you can see Cody Hawkins into year 3. I was telling you guys in a production meeting, he's really putting his stamp on a lot of carbon copy with the starter and the backup. He's doing a hell of a job recruiting. Great strike by them, and nice answer, getting it to 20-14.
And I have raved about Cody Hawkins. That was an excellent hire in Tello. And you continue to see the growth. Zion Nunnally to the house. A fun one here in Bozeman. Well, I don't want to say that I have a crystal ball, but I kind of nailed it at the top of the show when I said this has the potential to be like an old school Big Sky shootout. That's exactly what we have right now. 69 yards to the house for Zion Nunnally.
No doubt. You did kind of call it kind of not the standard for this Bobcat defense. Yeah, man, 34 points in the first 16-plus minutes in lousy weather. Here we go.
Short kick in front of the 10. Jabez Woods weaving his way through to 25. And we go back to that connection from Jordan Cook to Zion Nunnally for 6 times.
This is what I'm talking about, though, in terms of blitzing this style of offense. Watch how fast the ball comes out. You can see good sharp route by Nunnally, clear pocket for Cook to just stand and throw the strike. And again, Caden Dowler, who's a very good tackler. He's an excellent football player. Just kind of gets out leverage and misses the tackle. It's a big play. And like you said, it's kind of having the makings of an old school Big Sky game. Lots of points, and look at that weather come down.
6'4", 231 for Nunnally. And Cody Hawkins highlighted to us earlier this week his physicality, but showed off the wheels. Flipping it up to Taco Dowler. Justin Lamson to the 30. Let's try this again. Back down to Grace Lawrence with Wes Wilson.
Yeah, guys, take 2 here with Wes Wilson. I mean, that's showbiz, and you're in the business. Tell me about your podcast with your high school friend, Sophie Cunningham, who's now in the WNBA, and Good Morning Football. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy that you just, grew up with someone who's becomes, the face of the WNBA, and so I didn't have to do too much, but we have a company, it's The Volume, and they kind of made this podcast happen, and it's been really fun. I never thought my would be full of WNBA drama, but here we are, and so it's been. And then Good Morning Football, just another to try to flex my ball knowledge. I don't know if Coach Ty thinks I actually know what I'm talking about, but I try my best. So. And then you're on Bravo's hit TV show Summer House. You just got done filming your 3rd season. Yeah. Take us through, how was the 3rd season for you? It was lovely. I had a great summer. It's the first time that this house had a lot of guys in it. It was like a boys' house. We had a pool basketball. We went out all the time. It was really fun. Awesome. Let's send it back to your former DC, Ty Gregorak. Coach Ty, love you, brother. Guys.
Love you, Wes. Wes sounds like he's been smoking a pack of Marlboro Reds his whole life. Or after the gala, he just probably closed down the bar. But yes, I do love my man West. And yes, you know what you're talking about, West. It's good to see you on Good Morning Football. Love you, buddy. From the Show Me Missouri. He's a good young man.
Representing Montana State well, no question about that. 2nd and 9 as the rain comes down harder and harder here on this fall afternoon. Lamson with Davis leaving the pocket. Taco Dowler just scoots out of bounds. And first down for the Bobcat offense.
Well, the first thing that stands out to me, you can see it right here with Taco. These receivers are starting to take their gloves off, which you have to, because with that precipitation, it's just going to get slicker and slicker.
As I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen Taco Dowler without gloves, because when he first caught that return in the first quarter, I was like, wow, that's a different look, Taco. Adam Jones, meanwhile, powers off the defender to the 45. Ryan Leathers there to wrestle him down.
Yeah, and I like this young man. Again, we highlighted him early in the show. It's a nice cut here. Great vision by Adam Jones. I do like this Leathers kid. You know, between Leathers and Shorty, I highlight them as the impact players. They're both freshmen making a lot of plays for this ISU defense. Again, here's that 20 personnel package with the split back.
Back to Jones, getting to the perimeter and turning the corner, and escorted out of bounds by, once again, Ryan Leathers.
Yeah, again, Ryan Leathers, you know, he's leading the team. He's coming into the game with almost 50 tackles on the season, has an interception, has a fumble. Very, very competitive, complete type youngster, according to Coach Hawkins.
Was one of the best tacklers in the entire nation in the first couple weeks of the season. And yeah, Cody Hawkins telling us he can play multiple positions, can really fly to the football. First down at 10. Lamson to the air. We'll tuck it. Step. Not much going there.
Now it's also not always thing when your freshman safety's making all the plays. That first and second level.
Illegal formation. Too many men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And you've seen it the last 2 weeks. Brent Vegan definitely getting a little annoyed with the penalties, because this is a Montana State team that is 7th in the FCS in fewest penalty yards throughout the entire country, 33 yards per game.
Yeah, well, he knows he's got a good outfit. He loves the way they've been preparing. Their practices throughout the week, he said, have been some of the best in the last few weeks since that Mercyhurst, and he expects them to play to the standard.
Nowhere to go for Justin Lamson as he's swallowed up. Jackson Irwin this time brings him down.
Yeah, it's a good job by that ISU D line. You know, they took 55 Jordan Reed there for kind of, you can see it right here. He's on skates. You know, just again getting a bunch of white jerseys in the backfield. I said Jordan Reed, not Jordan Reed. JT Reed. Apologize. Jordan Reed's now playing wide receiver.
Second and 17 from the 42. Taco Dowler flanks out. Lamson up the gut. Again, just lowers his shoulders, stays on his feet. Again, he's tough as nails, man. Can just plow through tacklers.
He is, and this is just bogus pressure here. You're going to see, it looks like they're bringing blitz from the second level, but it's just a 4-man rush. Big time play by Lamson. God, this kid, he is a competitor. You can see they're just bringing that Sam linebacker off the edge there, or inside the tackle. Good tough run, though, by Lamson.
Of course, was a strong runner out at Stanford. Didn't really get the chance to throw it a whole lot, but that's what he did, and that's what former head coach Troy Taylor used him the most, as he keeps it again up the middle and lunges forward for a first down.
Well, they definitely are liking the quarterback run game right now, because Adam Jones is in the game. You saw the empty backfield with Adam Jones split out. They brought him in fly motion, just ran the read zone with him. And now Lamson's got to go get a towel and get it.
You know, this kind of day, you need that towel on every single play.
They're going to go through every football they brought in the bag today just to keep them dry.
Adam Jones bobbing and weaving.
This is what I'm talking about, though. You got your safeties making all these plays. Multiple defenders in that first and second layer had opportunities, but, you know, Adam's a good, tough runner. You can see a nice block there, right? Burke Mastel, again, these big hogs churning and burning their feet. Shifting both tight ends over here. 12 personnel into an unbalanced look, so that tight end in line is ineligible.
And the tight end set, looking to block. Julius Davis tried to stay upright to the 10.
Idaho State's very lucky here. If Julius Davis does keep his balance and can somehow spin out of this, the only thing stopping him is the navy blue in the end zone right here.
Yeah, and he knew it too.
Again, same formation. You got, and now they're going to shift him back into the power of the boundary.
Yep, Schlepp And Linchoni moved to the left side, like you said. Davis gets the call again. And asking about that 12 personnel, what does that formation help with in regards to the Bobcat offense?
Well, you got, it's all a numbers game, Ben. So you got 2 tight ends into the boundary, but you've got a slot receiver and your Z receiver back to the field. So those inside linebackers still have to shift over, and then you just run the football with their inside zone, outside zone, and their split zone. And again, you know, you got big-bodied tight ends that are, very integral part of your offense. Coach Steerbeck, I think, is learning. He loves these guys and keep using them.
Linchoni provides that block. The tight end blocking game on the perimeter comes through again as Lamson streaks in.
You can see just how wet it is down there. The end zone camera, you can't see much, but I promise you, it was a touchdown. Lots of offense. Good blocking there out there by Linchoni, the local boy out of Gallatin High School.
The 4th rushing TD season for Justin Lamson. And you want to see how wet it is? Look at all those spots. 27-14. A wet one in Bozeman. Yeah, you know Lamson's got to put on the rain jacket there. But he's getting it done once again. Finds the blue turf. 27-14 for the number 5 team in the land. Doesn't matter if they're wet. The student section loving it. It's Fan Zone time with Marsh McLennan Agency. Check out today's featured fans. And again, want to thank all of you for sending in these photos that we see every single week. Some good support for JT Reed, that O-line. And again, you got to get more of the dogs in these photos every single week. Great shot right there with Champ, with the young ones. A little different weather than we saw about 3 hours ago, as the sun is desperately trying to break through here at Bobcat Stadium. Another touchback, and Justin Lamson, Ty, again, so good. Not only throwing the ball in the pocket, but when he sees an opening in the run game, he takes off and he's effective.
Yeah, we're going into the archives a little bit here. I mean, you can just see he has been effective. That's the thing. I think he's a throwing quarterback that can run, and when he does run, he's extremely effective. Like you said, I mean, he's had great production running the football. And a game like today, you got to use your stable of running backs, and then when you got a dude that can do it, run him. And he's been good.
There's just something about running quarterbacks here at Montana State, man. 5, Ian Duarte.
It's a good job by Cole Taylor here, making Duarte kind of, lose a little yards and come back, and then finished off there by Bryce Grebe.
Lamson 7 of 8, 84 yards, and 60 on the ground. And for Jordan Cook today, 10 of 13. He's had a solid afternoon so far. 50 yards, a pair of TDs. 2nd and 9. Play fake to Sudbury. Wide open on the far side. Mike Shulikov belted out of bounds. Caden Dowler, but you see him once again, 6'6". Cody Hawkins says it's not really a 50-50 ball with him. It's more like 70-30.
Yes, it is. And the Montana Grizzlies heard his name a few times last week too. 8 catches for 119 yards. He's special. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's a big, good-looking target that can run and jump.
Looking left, Cook. In and out of the hands of Carson Sudbury. And now a word from the Montana Boat Center.
Football season, boating season. You can plan for one while enjoying the other. Order your new dream boat now. Montana Boat Center.
Good shot of Cody Hawkins, his 3rd season in Pocatello. And his offense really getting going. The last couple of drives that have resulted in a pair of trips to the blue turf.
It's a good shot of Cody right there. I tell you, I'm little draw here, which is probably a good call on 2nd and long. They got to get this run game going with as wet as it is down there. I got a lot of respect for Cody, though. He's a good coach. He's learned from some of the best. Obviously, his dad was a heck of a football coach. but I love the fingerprint that he's putting on this program. He's recruiting hard. And like I've told you guys, Ben, I've seen Idaho State have some good teams. It's just hard to sustain success down there. But I think we've got the right guy to do it.
Cook under duress. Just has to throw it away. And now bring up 4th down. I mean, you see how similar he is to his dad.
Yeah, he is, man. When you him, I mean, they got a lot of the same mannerisms, and you can see his dad. He's the. Wait, you tell me what the title is? Director of Player Personnel?
Assistant coach, senior advisor.
Yeah.
And I love last week on their coaches show, because this is a brutal for Idaho State. 5 straight weeks where they're playing all 5 of the Big Sky teams who made the FCS playoffs last year. And when asked about it, the younger Hawkins just goes, to quote a very smart man, "It ain't intramurals, brother."
One of the great rants of all time. It actually, people talk about, I'm a man, I'm 40, but Coach Hawkins' rants one of the greatest of all time. You can see some shots here of my alma mater here, Ben. He was the starting quarterback back in the day for his old man at Colorado. Oh, the gorgeous black and gold.
I mean, look at those numbers. 7,731 yards. A lot of major passing records broken in his career out in Boulder.
Yeah, you can tell his coaching style. He definitely has taken a page out of his old man's. The single season record holder for 424 attempts. That's a lot.
Well, I remember last year when we called this game in Pocatello, he told a story where there were times where he didn't see himself as being a coach, as Adam Jones, shake and bake, and will run out of bounds to pick up a 1st down for the Bobcats, but he never saw himself as a head coach, saw himself as maybe just being an offensive coordinator for a defensive-minded coach, but obviously he's having tremendous success after coming to Pocatello, after serving as the OC at UC Davis, and like you mentioned, the money they put into the facilities at Idaho State, at the ICCU Dome, and the job that Cody Hawkins has done with this program in year 3. I mean, he's taking them to a great place right here. Lamson, design QB run, right up the middle, past the 25.
Well,
Reynolds there.
He has been, and that's the thing, though. I mean, you look at game 1, UNLV, they lose by a touchdown. Then they drop a tough one to Southern Utah. Then they follow that up with a tough against New Mexico. It's like you're scheduling FBS team, Mountain West type teams, and then you play a team like Lincoln. It's like, who is this team? I thought we saw really who they are last week against a very, very, very good Montana team, and they almost, a lot of coulda, woulda, shouldas, but they could have beat that team last week.
Adam Jones right through the window, and there he goes. Into Idaho State territory. Adam Jones once again with the feet.
Adam Jones is running hard. I mean, you can say the same about Julius Davis here. Again, a lot of misdirection, right? The fly sweep, the split zone. But the rest is on him, man. You can see Taco blocking downfield there. But again, just with how I can only imagine how wet it is down there, just keep running the football.
34 yards there on that run by Adam Jones. Lamson in the pocket, he'll climb it and he'll escape. The drag down from behind. 2-yard pickup there for Lamson. As Bo Jakes there.
Takes up a yard and a half on the play. Maybe 2. 2nd and 8.
As we'll hit the 2-minute timeout here in Bozeman.
This is the 2-minute timeout. Timeout on the field.
Montana State looking to put some more points up on the scoreboard before heading into the locker room. Well, I think the last time, Ty, we called a game in the kind of downpour like this, I think it was 3 years ago against Weber State, and still to this day, the craziest college football game I've ever seen. Not just called, seen. 4 safeties and back and forth, double-digit deficits overcame.
Kick return for a touchdown, blocked punt. It was nuts.
Just a wild one here in Bozeman. 2 minutes to play. Again, faking the fly sweep to Jabez Woods. As Lamson once again with the keeper. 3rd down.
Idaho State seems like they've maybe figured out that play.
Idaho State their first timeout, 30 seconds. Game clock operator, please put 1 minute and 56 seconds on the game clock. Thank you.
Well, so much for complimentary football. 255 yards from Brent Vigen's crew.
Well, and that's what I was saying in the open, you know, the best air raid-ish type teams. I mean, again, having to face, you know, Coach Leach, they could always still run the ball at a pretty high clip.
Back down to Grace Lawrence.
The beauty of my job is I'm also the local sports reporter here in Bozeman. I cover the local prep, so I've been watching tight end Rocky Lencioni for a few years now. Back in high school, he was a receiver and a safety for the Bozeman Hawks. He made the switch to tight end once he got to MSU. Look at that catch right there. Was a part of a state championship team his senior year. A few current Cats on that team as well. And I remember he said back in high school his #1 sport growing up was actually basketball, but then he saw a future in football really take shape. I think is paying off, Ben.
4 wide receiver set. Lampson on the slant. And that will be caught by Taco Deller. Another timeout called. Yeah, you look at the Bozeman product. Left Bozeman High is their second leading all-time receiver.
Timeout. Idaho State, their second and a half, 30 seconds.
Also on All-State, I should say, on defense. And Brent Vigen really raved about him in our coach's call with him earlier this week. I asked him, hey, the impact that Rocky has had on your program early on, and he said the development has been quicker than we envisioned, and you can just see it. He had that touchdown last week against NAU, and the big thing, and I know you're going to agree with me here, his blocking has been phenomenal on the perimeter.
It has, and you got to understand now, Coach Vigen's an old tight end himself.
Yeah.
And you know, he came up through the North Dakota State ranks as a player and a coach. North Dakota State, as everyone at an FCS level knows, especially here in Bozeman, they've always used a platoon of tight ends, and they have 4 tight ends that are all big,
Idaho
long.
State called the timeout to challenge the ruling of a catch on the field. The play is under review.
See, I didn't think it was a catch either.
I didn't think so either.
It was great pressure by Idaho State. But all I was going to say is you've got 4 tight ends that are very much in the mix, and they're all sophomores and freshmen. So the future is bright for that tight end room. And you know, again, Coach Vigen, who's coached a lot of great offenses, a lot of great quarterbacks. We're going to see the replay here, Ben. Boy, from up here, I thought it hit the ground. I don't know if it did. Excuse me. I think it's a catch.
Basket catch there by Dowler, at least from that angle. And, you know, one final point on the tight ends. We talked to Pete Sturbick about a month ago. You look at Rocky Lencioni from Bozeman High, Ryan Schlepp from Gallatin, and the offensive coordinator for Montana State said, you know, it's basically tight end you here in the Gallatin Valley.
I keep telling my son the same thing. I think he's going to be a big old boy, and, you know, he loves to play quarterback and linebacker like his old man. But I said, buddy, you're going to be 6'4", 6'5". And then I showed him what the average tight end in the NFL makes. It's about $7.5 million. He's like, you know what, Dad?
It's not bad.
Not bad.
After review, the receiver's hand was under the ball. The catch is complete. The ruling on the field is upheld.
And I'm glad they reviewed it because that was a big play. I mean, 4th and, what is it, about 3, 4? You know, with the conditions.
Because we're looking at about a, but they're going to keep the offense on
Idaho
the field.
State is out of challenges for the game.
I was going to say it would have been about a 51-yarder if they sent Miles Sandstead out. But now on 4th and 4. Montana State 4 of 6 this season. Split wideouts, Jabez Woods. Motions underneath. Ryan King making the grab and getting a first down.
This is a real nice catch by King, and I'll tell you why. The ball is thrown just slightly behind him. Good catch by King. Nice job moving the chain. You can see it right there. Good job looking it in. And, you know, that receiving core, didn't mean to pour on last week, but they looked like they had a couple drops, you know, where those guys got to catch the football.
Back to the ground, Adam Jones. Short of the 20.
Actually was talking to Coach Sam Mix today. He's been the running back coach.
Timeout. Idaho State. Their 3rd and final timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
You know, showing those clips of Cody Hawkins in the old black and gold. One of my former teammates, a great fullback by the name of Brandon Drum, is here as we speak. His son is a big, long wide receiver out of Anchorage, Alaska. I have a bad feeling on today, Ben. We're going to show a lot of Colorado play. Oh God, here we go.
Here we go. Not you though.
No.
Not you. We wouldn't do that to you.
2006 though, man. This Bobcat team went down to Boulder, Colorado, and took down the mighty Colorado Buffaloes.
And Dan Hawkins, his debut as the Buffs head man. 19-10 the final out in Boulder.
I remember watching that game going, oh God, are the Cats really good? And then 2 months later we went and waxed them, just so you know. But anyway.
On second down, under 90 ticks left here in this first half. And trying to submarine forward, Adam Jones. Not much there, third down.
Well, I know Coach Vegan has aspirations of putting more points on the board. He's going to have to, he's watching that clock. They're trying to drain as much time down as they can. Again, with the way some of the kicking's been going, though, you'd probably much rather get the ball close and go for 6 points as opposed to 3 points, as one's already hit the dang goalpost.
They got 12 personnel in there again. Montana State, third down and 3. Adam Jones following a block. And it will be enough, at least from the spot, to move the chains, and they will. And Adam Jones a little hobbled, but you know how tough he is. He's going to stay in the game.
Oh, boy.
And Colson Kuhn will come right back to the sideline. Adam Jones, 130 yards today. To the air now, Lampson. Retreats. And that one heading into the stands, and a flag at the 12-yard line.
Flag on the play.
Well, once they recognized they got the first down.
Holding, number 3 of the defense. It's a 10-yard penalty, and automatic first down.
Janari Boone with a crucial one as we wind down this
Correction,
second.
half the distance to goal.
Yeah, that's a great call by you, Ben. That is crucial because they are knocking on the door. That was a wonky play from the get-go. Once they recognized they got the first down, they tried to get Kuhn in there because they saw Adam Jones hobbled, but the ref was holding the ball. But yeah, that was a very not a very good timed penalty by ISU.
And now Happy Feet before the snap.
Ball start. Number 7 and 3 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Cedric Jefferson, now the guilty party.
For an offensive line that had their fair share of injuries, and again, we've used the word reshuffle way too much. Looks like they're settling in nicely though with this starting 5.
Faking the sweep. Lampson with an eternity. With a laser to the corner. Touchdown Montana State. Bozeman's own Rocky Lencioni.
Well, nothing like highlighting the guy and showing old high school footage and being a local kid. Last week I told you it wasn't on my bingo card that they drew up a tight end fly sweep. Great throw by Lampson. Good pocket presence. Again, he's got all day with that O-line blocking their butts off. Finds him in the corner of the end zone. And again, that's back-to-back weeks for Lencioni getting in the end zone. Keep using this stable of tight ends.
High snap. But still good. And now a 20-point lead for Montana State. Lampson pumped over on the sideline.
We keep seeing it week in, week out. He's a fiery dude. I mean, he's a competitive guy.
Jawing right up to Nathan Reynolds.
Don't get a penalty. It's all fun and games. Yeah, I'm talking to you too, JT Reed. There, don't get a penalty. He's still he's still going. Look at him. He might be still talking across the way. Look at him. He just don't want to. He's a competitive dude, man. He's a fiery guy. Coach Vegan, I think, loves what he's got.
Well, he's a competitive dude, and really that entire family, they're extremely tough. I was listening to Cody Hawkins earlier this week, and He was talking about Justin Lamson's brother played 6 games with a torn ACL back in the day. So that entire family, I mean, they're grinders, man.
It's called good parenting, Ben. The wussification of America. There's not enough tough kids anymore, so he's obviously got good parents.
So with 25 seconds left, again, Idaho State does get the ball to start the third quarter. I'd imagine if you're Cody Hawkins, you're probably just going to just run out the clock and go into the locker room. 373 yards already for the Bobcats in the first half.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what the critics have to say this week, Ben. What's wrong with the offense? We hired a D2 coordinator, blah, blah, blah. Almost 400 yards in the first half, I'd say is pretty darn good.
They'll go to the air, wide open down the sideline, and taking a big hit at the 50, Mike Shulikov. And he's shaken up.
Yes, he is. And when you're 6'6", man, and those guys go right for your lower half, that can't feel real good.
And Cook will spike it to stop it at 15 seconds. Well, so much for just running out the clock.
Yep.
I shouldn't have doubted Cody Hawkins in the offense that he can deliver.
No, exactly. And it looks like, you know, that corner, they're playing kind of a clouded coverage there with Dowler as the safety. That being said, you know, again, just going back to his coach's words, they got to be physical. They got to get hands on and kind of reroute that receiver so it's not so clean just running up the sideline there.
Cook flushed out, off his back foot, and out of bounds.
It shows you the arm strength, though, that Cook has, man. He Elway rolled back to his left, throws on his back foot, and it still goes 40 yards, you know, almost on a rope.
And that's a big thing Cody Hawkins stressed to us earlier this week. His ability to make decisions, talking about Jordan Cook, has really grown in his time in Pocatello. 3rd down and 10 right at midfield. 9 ticks left. No timeouts for ISU. And again, incomplete.
Well, it's smart because he knew if he took off and ran, the clock was going to expire. He knew if he took a sack, the clock would expire. You know, they got one more opportunity to maybe throw a Hail Mary here.
Well, you got these tall receivers, 6'4", 6'6", 6'3". Cody Hawkins even raved. It's got to be such a luxury when you have those tall drinks of water where you can just throw it up and just let them go get it on jump balls. Trips at the bottom of the screen. Cook buying time, and that one's easily going to be picked off by Montana State. And rumbling the other way, Taden Gray caught from behind.
Big play, Tay. You know, that wasn't clean from the get-go. I mean, that's not the play they wanted. Very, very easy interception for Taden Gray, and heading to the locker room up 20. Good showing by the Cats.
That's the end of the half.
An offensive explosion here in this first half. A fun one between two longtime Big Sky foes. With Montana State up 34-14 over Idaho State. 373 yards for the Bobcat offense, 193 for the Bengal offense, 189 of those coming through the air. Back down to Grace Lawrence.
Yeah, Coach, how was your offense able to achieve such production through the elements this first half?
Well, we were able to run the football. You know, you run the football, that's all weather, that can travel, it can do anything. So our ability to do that consistently, I don't know that they really slowed a run game down at all, and that's a credit to the guys running it, but the guys up front.
An interception to close the half for you guys. What are you liking out of your secondary and how they're shaping up against this pass game from ISU?
Well, they're real dangerous. So, I mean, they've hit a couple big plays, and we can't let that happen. I know we got a penalty down there and extended that drive. So they're going to continue to come after us. So this group's going to continue to fight, and we got to keep getting pressure on them.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, the run game definitely not slowing down in those first 30 minutes. 264 on the ground for the second best rushing offense in the Big Sky. Halftime coming up with number 5 Montana State up 20.
and then Davis gets going, and then, oh yeah, there's Justin Lamson, who's also run for a touchdown.
Their dual threat quarterback, yeah. So let's show you how it all happened at rainy Bobcat Stadium in Bozeman. Cats would get the ball first in this one and march right down the field. Justin Lamson, with time, finds a wide open aforementioned Julius Davis out of the backfield, stretches for the goal line. Ball comes out, but he crossed before it did. 7-0 MSU just like that. Then after an Idaho State 3-and-out, Cats right back in the red zone. Lamson fires to Taka. No, that's Dane Steele. 14-0 in less than 7 minutes. Looks like this could get out of hand, right? Oh, but the Bengals show some life. Late in the first quarter, Jordan Cook scrambles right. Eventually going to look to the back of the end zone for his top target at 6'6", Michael Shulikov. 14-7 game. Cats would answer right back, but Idaho State not going away. Cook to Zion Nunnally, breaks the tackle of Caden Dowler there, 69 yards to the house, makes it a one-score game again. But again, MSU would respond. Fourth possession of their game here, fourth touchdown. Lamson keeps it on the read option, walks in, 34-14 at half. MSU's offense clicking on all cylinders.
Meanwhile, in Missoula, number 4 Montana just getting started against Cal Poly. Beautiful day on homecoming with the Grizz in the throwback copper and gold unis. They drive down on their first possession, but 4th and 1 outside the red zone. Eli Gilman is stuffed by Cal Poly. Huge stop to force the turnover on downs. Mustangs trying to make a count in the red zone. Ty Diefenbach throws, but is picked off by Caleb Otlowski. Big play to keep it scoreless late in the first.
Yeah, that one's over on the spot, in case you're looking for it. Continues with us at halftime of that one as well, and then post-game there. Stay with us here, though. We'll talk about the rest of the Big Sky Top 15 matchups still on tap this evening. We'll be right back after the break.
A couple of cloud breaks, thankfully, here at Bobcat Stadium with Montana State up 34-14. Ty Gregorak, Ben Cragen up here in the booth. And if you like offense, Ty, this is the game for you through those first 30 minutes.
Well, and you know, Coach Beacon kind of alluded to it, not alluded to it, he said it to Grace coming off the field. We can run the ball, they can't. In a weather day like this, you know, you got to be able to run the football, and they just can't. That to me is the tail of the tape right now, Ben.
You know, you see Montana State just continuing to chew up the turf. 264 on the ground, only 4 for Cody Hawkins' bunch. And that's an offense that wanted to be complimentary, but it's been all through the air. Second half from Bozeman coming up in a few minutes. Yeah, the poncho's a must on this gloomy day in Bozeman, Montana. 34-14 as we start the third quarter. Number 5 Montana State. The offense just absolutely clicking. Idaho State will get the ball to start the third quarter. Ian Duarte once again back to return for the Bengals. And that's going to drive Brent Vegan, you know, absolutely wild. Kickoff out of bounds on Montana State.
Yes, it will. And you know,
Bridget got out of bounds. I rolled the ball in place to the 35-yard line. First down.
Moments ago, Grace Lawrence caught up with Idaho State head coach Cody Hawkins.
Coach, how do you feel like your offense battled through the elements of that first half?
I mean, we did okay. I mean, you know, you're going to have the one at the end, but, you know, you can't shoot yourself in the foot on drives when you're playing a team that's as talented as Montana State is.
And how do you slow down MSU's rushing attack?
I don't know if you got any ideas, I'll take them because nothing's worked so far. So we'll take suggestions. But no, I mean, guys got to stay in their gap. They got to run to the football. I mean, we got to realize their tendencies and where their back sets are. So, I mean, there's no easy solution, but the solution isn't complicated. Stay in your gap, run to the football, over communicate.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And even for a 6'6" wideout, that was too tall for Mike Shulikov on first down.
It's the Big Sky, brother. God, he sounds so much like his dad. I love it. Hey, Grace, if you got any recommendations, let me know, because nothing's working. But it's good to see Shulikov back out there. He took a heck of a shot to end the half.
On the tunnel screen, going to Nunnally. 8-yard pickup there to bring up third down. And this is a crucial first drive, in my opinion, for Idaho State, because When your defense is giving up touchdowns on 5 of Montana State's 6 drives, I mean, you got to put up some points here to start this half.
You do. I mean, it's just like last week, right? I mean, they just needed one more possession to beat a very good Grizz team. But you're right, Ben. 34-21. It's a lot more palpable than a 20-point game right now.
False start. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Gotta love it.
I've seen that before, and you're like, well, he's not wrong.
No. And now backing up 5 yards. And that's also crucial because now you go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's right. The center's like, hey, fellas, what are we doing?
Cook again has to leave the pocket. Throwing it on the run. Wide open downfield. Shulikov incomplete.
Ben, you got to be able to crawl before you walk and walk before you run. My goodness, he had him. He had it. He knows he had it. Good job by Cook keeping his eyes downfield. God, he's got a big arm. Yeah. Just get a face full of rubber pellets knowing how bad that was. That's a bummer because you and I were talking about it. Cats go down and score now. You can almost write this off as another victory for the guys in blue and gold.
Dollar will just let it bounce into the end zone. I mean, for how good Mike Shulikov is, one of the best receivers in the Big Sky, very uncharacteristic for him to drop this.
Yeah, the guy's coming in with 27 catches for 520 yards. That was before the game. That was unfortunate, for sure.
And so many threats on the ground for Montana State. Adam Jones with easily his best performance this season, 130 yards with a touchdown. Julius Davis, Justin Lamson, so effective offensively. Adam Jones gets the call. Bouncing to the outside, tries to turn the corner, and skips out of bounds.
It's crazy to keep watching. He's untouched here. Just going through that first and second level of defense. Just inside zone, 11 personnel inside zone.
Back to Jones again. And a first down to the 35. And you look at this Idaho State defense, they've done a pretty decent job as the season has gone on of limiting opposing rushing attacks. I mean, what's been happening today with Montana State just going crazy against that D-line?
Well, the Cats are doing a good job with, it's not just Adam Jones, it's not Julius Davis. They're running a ton of zone read with the quarterback, and Lansing's very productive using his feet.
Underneath, Taco Dollar.
But, I mean, to your point, Ben, in a shootout last week in the ICCU Dome against, the number 4 team in the country, the Grizz only had north of 100 yards, I believe. And they got one of the best tailbacks in the country, and Eli Gilman. But, yeah, this has been a fantastic, kind of almost a breakout performance rushing the football for this Cat offense today.
Yeah, they held Eli Gilman to just 48 yards on the ground last week as that D-line will show pressure on 2nd and 6. Trying to find a window. Nothing open there for Colson Kuhn, 3rd down. It looked like it might have been Colin Lewis with the stop. Two for 4 today on 3rd downs for Montana State. And meanwhile, for the Bengal defense, this would be huge if you're able to get a 3rd down stop, I should say, here. Dollar, the motion man. They go to him, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. Montana State looking for a flag.
They wanted a flag. They're not getting a flag. Again, we're 100 yards plus away. It looked like there was a lot of contact there. You can see it right there. But they didn't call it. going back to what we were talking, offensively, you always want to be right around the 50% or greater mark on third down as an offense, and then defensively, if you can be around that 70% success or holding offenses, to 30%, and both offense and defensively, they're hanging around those numbers, and that's why they're the number 5 team in the country.
As Ian Torte will just call fair catch.
Timeout on the
Trayshawn
field.
Shorty, by the way, the man in coverage for Idaho State. The Bengal offense looking for more success on their second drive of the third quarter when we come back.
Today's game is sponsored by Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
Well, the Blue Sky trying to break through here at Bobcat Stadium. Cody Hawkins, meanwhile, hoping that his offense can put up points. Here in the third quarter, pressure coming. Cook just lofts it downfield and able to making the grab. What a catch right there. But there is a flag. Obviously, you assume that's going to be PI.
PI?
A grab.
And declining it. Yeah, he just threw it up there knowing his receiver. I mean, these receivers.
Result of the play is a completed catch. Pass interference, number 5 of the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
You can see he's just beat. The ball's actually underthrown. Cook's kind of throwing off his back foot and kind of hooked him there in the neck.
What a catch by Jonah Burton. On the ground to the 50, and the ball pops loose. But the Bengal O-line will pounce on it.
Yeah, it's a really, really heads-up play by
Really on the field as the ball is fumbled, recovered by the offense.
The big sophomore, Will Davis here. Look at him. He is huge. They list him at 318. Heads-up play by that young man.
And you would like to get the running attack going. Chucked out of bounds. Because Dason Brooks came into this one as the second leading rusher in the Big Sky this season behind Eli Gilman. You look at it right now, only 1 yard on 3 attempts.
Yep. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. It's just
now up to 7 yards, by the way, after that carry. The stats just updated.
Right. It's like they've just given up on trying to run the ball. When you're down 20 points, I get that, but let their big arm quarterback do their thing with 6'6", 6'3", and 6'4" on the perimeter.
Cook slinging it over the middle. Zion Nunnally. There you have it right there. Big, tall glass of water at 6'4", moving the chains.
Again, I mean, both Montana schools are getting a healthy dose of this kid. 9 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown last week versus the Grizz. He's a big, good, long target. Everybody talks about Shulikov, but this guy's a player.
Cody Hawkins highlighted his physicality in that wide receiver core. New set of downs. Carson Sudbury now getting the carry. Caden Dowler there for the stop. And both these running backs for Idaho State can really churn up the yards. Just under 6 yards per carry for Sudbury. For Dason Brooks, 6.5 yards per carry.
And another freshman, Ben. They've got a lot of good young talent on this team. Just give Cody time to keep building it and developing it. And I think they've got a good coach with a good staff that's going to do some good things here, man. I mean, it's Rome wasn't built in a day.
Draw play going to Sudbury. Now bring up 3rd and 1. Quickly to the line, Idaho State. And absolutely leveled. Neil Daly, welcome back.
Welcome back, Neil Daly, no doubt. He had the holding call in that first half. Boy, that was a big-time stick. And given Cody Hawkins and co a big decision here, they're going to go for it. Great hit by Daly, though. Welcome back, young man. Big, long athlete. Love this linebacker core right now. They're recruiting long athletes that can run.
Montana State's defense shows blitz, and they'll sag off on 4th and 2. 33% on 4th downs this year for the Bengals. Here comes the pressure. 5 coming on the slant. And making the squeeze again, Zion Nunnally.
Well, Coach Sean Howe did elect to bring a little pressure this time, and and Cook recognized it, got the ball out quick. Just get the ball out there for big, long receiver. But again, you and I were just talking about they've got to get some points on the board.
And the defense was able to hold Montana State's hot offense on the previous drive. The offense has really got to capitalize here. Cook again off his back foot for the end zone. Incomplete. Again, trying to find Nunnally.
It's interesting. Cook's thrown a lot of these balls off his back foot, and again, that Cat defense is getting just enough pressure to make him uncomfortable right there by Kenny Iden. We talked about Taco Dowler being the Big Sky Player of the Week. That guy right there was the Defensive Player of the Week by his fantastic effort in Flagstaff last week. Good job by him affecting the quarterback.
The D-line made it difficult for Ty Pennington all game long. A laser for the end zone, incomplete. And that one almost a one-handed grab there by Jace McMillan.
Yeah, and that was an off-target throw by Cook here because he had him. He had his big receiver here. He just didn't throw a good ball. Threw it behind him. Lucky it wasn't picked.
Well, from our vantage point, it looked like it might have been a one-handed grab. A secondary that has been impressive, despite the storylines coming into the season being so young. But they've really held their own. 3rd down and 10. All bunched up on the line, Montana State. They'll bring 5. Cook. Retreating again. Incomplete. Trying to go for the corner.
Again, it's not the sacks, but it's making the quarterback uncomfortable, and that's exactly what they're doing. So they gave the illusion that they're bringing everybody, but they're not. They dropped out the defensive end, Zach Cruz there. But again, great hustle by the D-line. And this quarterback, you can see it right there, the frustration. He just can't set his feet. He doesn't have a clean platform to throw the football. And it's evident by the score and the total yards. I mean, this team threw for 420-plus yards last week. They're at 250 right now.
Trajan Sinatra misses it. His first miss of the season. And a late flag.
The field goal was unsuccessful. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 9 of the defense. The 15 yards will be enforced, and a 1st down, Montana State. Timeout on the field.
Bobcats will get the ball back despite the penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Montana State on Seth Johnson following that missed attempt. And yeah, you can see it right there, taunting the Idaho State bench, and that says it all right there.
Well, it's just stupid. I don't know how else to say it. It's just dumb. I mean, you can do that towards your bench. You can do that towards the student section. Don't do it towards the opposing bench. Dumb.
So now the Bobcat offense will start at their own 10. Adam Jones getting the carry, bouncing through a window, and Jones takes off. And what a day Adam Jones is having. Easily his best of the 2025 campaign.
We every week we sit right next to the opponent coaching staff, and as soon as that hole hit, I just saw a bunch of hands go to the heads. Like, Houston, we have a problem, and that's called now over 300 yards on the ground.
25-yard scamper for Jones. Straight drop from Lamson. Incomplete as he throws behind Rocky Lencioni. And now word from Whitefish Credit Union.
Montanans the best way to save. Whitefish Credit Union certificates are available now.
And boy, has this game slowed down a little bit. Not a lot of offensive fireworks here in the 3rd. Second and 10. One tight end in the game for Montana State. And Jones once again Bouncing to the outside and wrapped up by Rylan Leathers. Third down.
This is a great block right here on the perimeter. You can see it right there. I believe it was Braden Zimmer. I missed the number. But again, have yourself a day, Bobcats, in terms of running the football. We were kind of touting this as the quarterback, the gunslingers. And the guys in blue and gold have been chewing up the yards on the ground.
2 of 5 on third down today for Montana State. Wide open. Near the boundary. And a first down for the Bobcats. Taco Dowler with another catch. Now with his 6th of the afternoon.
Just a little sprint out here. Again, great job by Sam Mix and his receiver corps knowing exactly where the sticks are. Easy throw for Lampson. Move the chains.
121 passing yards now for Justin Lampson. To the air again. This time Jabez Woods on the slant. And boy, what a couple of weeks Jabez Woods has been having. As it looks like he is going to be just short of the line to gain. Nope, they'll give it to him. First down.
Yeah, he's slowly becoming, one of their dudes. I mean, obviously, crucial situations, third downs, they're looking for 14. But Jabez Woods out of Spanaway, Washington, has become a real dude in this offense.
And Lampson trips over himself near midfield. Yeah, 128 yards, 4 catches, 2 TDs in the last 2 weeks for Jabez Woods. I'm not really sure whether Lampson just caught the turf monster or if
watch Jones right here. It looked like he steps on him. Ouch.
You know, with those cleats, owie. So a 6-yard loss. Dane Steele flanks out. Incomplete. Great coverage there by Jacob Perez to jar it loose. Third down intended for Ryan Schlepp.
Yes, it was. Sophomore, number 44 there, Jacob Perez, big linebacker. They're recruiting some big dudes. A lot of underclassmen in that linebacking core. Again, a lot of positives for this Idaho State program. They just got all these close games, and this isn't one of them right now, but they just got to learn to find a way to win, learn how to win.
That's not going to help. Wide open on the blitz pickup by Montana State. Jabez Woods. First down to the 30.
Well, yeah, you can blitz all you want, but there's no one covering the guy. It's like you're going to ask your defensive end there, Big Willis, to be the first one there. It's an issue.
Lampson with a stiff arm stays on his feet and just keeps on trucking. Cam Willis with the stop. Back to Grace.
Jabez Woods told me earlier this week he really had to trust the process to get to his position this year. Last year he was in a dark spot, not being able to see the field that much, but wide receivers coach Sam Mix was really in his corner, instilling confidence in him. Vegan told us he's a guy who they knew could step up into the moment. He was an elite high school player, guys, back in Washington.
Yeah, Jabez Woods saying earlier this week that Sam Mix has made him feel like he's playing high school ball again and really breaking out. Lampson on the rollout, wide open. Lincioni down the boundary, lunges for the goal line. Touchdown, Montana State. Bozeman's own gets it done again. 22 yards to the house.
Rocky Lancioni, man, welcome to college football. You've had a couple great weeks, getting your name called a whole bunch, and defensively, Idaho State probably needs to look themselves in the mirror, and it's the old Homer Smith. Get yourself together, man. I mean, it's Swiss cheese back there. I mean, Justin Lanson's slicing them up like a Ginsu knife right now, and they have no answers.
(41-14). Yeah, Justin Lampson has only thrown 4 incomplete passes today. 15 of 19. And meanwhile, the former Bozeman High grad finds the end zone again. A big day for that guy right there in the tight end room. Rocky Lencioni finds the end zone for the second time today in a 41-14 lead for Montana State. Another reminder, fans, to keep showing your team spirit. Send us your best Superfan photos, and you can see yourself coming up later on in the fourth quarter. Just scan, I should say, the QR code on your screen and upload your favorite fan shots. We'll highlight more of them coming up later on in the game. Ian Duarte looking to create some fireworks for Idaho State, and a solid return. And a little bit of tradition here at Montana State. You and I know, Ty, the trash can coming out every single week here at Bobcat Stadium during halftime. Finally, at long last, you finally got to live out your dream and ride on that thing.
Buddy, there is my marriage to the former Candace Kelly, great volleyball player here for the Cats. There's the birth of my children. There's coaching in a few national championships, and there's riding around in a garbage can in the defensive takeaway cowboy hat. One of the thrills of my life, Creighton.
First down on the comeback route, Mike Shulikov making the catch. How long was that ride?
Well, like anything in TV, you know, we did it for I don't know how long, and they put 5 seconds up. All I say is that thing can go now. That's got some get up and go. It can go 40 miles per hour. And Lee, you saw that shot of Lee. He's like, if you're going full speed, straight line, don't turn. Slow down first, and I did. I'm here with you today.
Probably a good advice there. Slinging it again, this time to the left side. And that will be a first down for Idaho State, Zion Nunnally. Well, now we got to up the ante. Now we got to put you in the trash can with a headset while calling the game.
I like that. I like it. I'd prefer to do it on a little nicer weather day myself.
Very true.
Maybe get my son Jackson there with me and just have a good old time. But yeah, I'm down. Totally down.
Long way to go for Idaho State. Cook retreating once again. And that's becoming a common theme today. That pressure just barreling down on Jordan Cook, and Cody Hawkins and company just looking for any sort of movement on offense.
Yep. Yeah, you know, we keep talking about leverage and how good of a leverage defense this outfit is. It looked like Zach Cruz lost leverage, lost contain there. But again, just the chase and the effort. Of course, from the backside then comes Kenny Iden, reigning Big Sky Defensive Player of the Week, and it's just, you know, hustle and effort. Coach Howe absolutely loves what he's got with those front 4/8. I mean, they're all playing. They're all rotating. Coach Baptiste likes to get them in and out, keep them fresh.
Screen game, too high for Damian Morgan. Third down. Yeah, and Brent Vigen continues to harp this every single week with that D-line. Depth is going to become more and more crucial as this Montana State defense continues on through Big Sky play and into the FCS playoffs.
No, there's no doubt why North Dakota State and South Dakota State have had a stranglehold on FCS football over the last dozen years. It's because of their fronts. And Montana State has built this team on their fronts, and now they just got to get over the hump and win it all.
They'll bring 4 on 3rd and 10. Cook with a clean pocket, sidearms it, and just slings it once again to his top target, Mike Shulikov, first down.
It's a nice throw by Cook. I mean, again, he finally gets to set his feet, kind of has a little sidearm action. Good route by Shulikov, and nice job by this offense getting a little something going, keeping that defense off the field a little bit. They've been on the field a lot and been pretty unsuccessful when they're on there, so it's good to see the offense.
Slings it again down the sideline, trying to get the toe drag, and he won't be able to haul it in. Jonah Burton.
Boy, Jordan Cook, he's not afraid to throw anything. I mean, that thing it wasn't going to be a catch because it was going out of bounds, but boy, if he sees it, he's throwing it.
And you just see his athleticism. You'd think that he could also take off with his legs. Not the case. He calls himself a pure pocket passer. Tunnel screen. Knifing upfield, Julian Mason lost the football. And there's that Montana State defense getting it done. Cole Taylor with the recovery. And the Bobcats will take over.
The ruling on on the field as the ball was fumbled by the receiver and recovered by the defense for.
To win, you must keep from losing, and that's what Idaho State's doing. They just get some sign of life going. Great job by Carson Williams here. CPR, Ben, club, punch, rip. Watch right here. That's a punch. Nice job getting the football out. Great job by Cole Train Taylor, the young man out of Great Falls, Montana. And just when the guys in white and orange are showing something, it's all for naught. First down, Bobcats.
Well, Carson Williams has also had a couple impressive weeks, and
there's my hat. That's my hat, Ben. Looks better on him than me.
3 PBUs last week for Carson Williams in Flagstaff as the Bobcat offense back on the field. Getting to wear that hat, Carson Williams.
Second and 9.
Brent Vegan saying he has a great ability to get a break on the football. Right on track, and yeah, he's really shown it the last 2 weeks.
This secondary, man, you know, for a giant question mark coming into the season, they have impressed myself amongst a lot of folks. They're a good young outfit.
Staying on the ground game again, Colson Kuhn. Third down.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Who wears it better?
Well, I'll say this, and Sean Howe told me, he goes, "Hey, Gregor, it's big." I said, "Buddy, if it can fit Paul Brott and you know Carson Williams, I'm sure it is big. It actually fit me pretty good, but I got a large melon." So.
Well, what's your hat size?
It's probably 3/4, 7 3/4.
Okay, because I'm a 7.5.
There you go.
Jabez Woods motions on 3rd and 5. A strike over the middle. Dane Steele hauling it in. And a first down for Montana State.
Nathan Reynolds and Leonard bring it down. Steele picks up a first down.
You know, it'd be interesting, you know, obviously as we winding down the third quarter here, I mean, the outcome is looking inevitable. Both teams going into a bye, a much-needed bye here in the middle of October. You know, and then I'm excited to see how this Bengal outfit rebounds, because then they got Northern Arizona.
This is the end of the third quarter. Timeout on the field.
Yeah, again, a 5-game stretch where they're playing all 5 of the Big Sky teams in a row that made the FCS playoffs last year. Strong performance last week against the Grizz, but Idaho State in Bozeman down 41-14. Fourth quarter coming up on the other side.
Today's game is sponsored by Montana State University, Mountains and Mines, Town Pump, Pump It Up, Stockman Bank, Montana's brand of banking, your Montana Chevy dealers, and the University of Montana. Build your skills the Montana way.
To start the fourth quarter, slicing through the hole, past the 50 and into Idaho State territory, but a flag thrown back at the 40-yard line. Colson Kuhn with a burst of speed.
I think they're going to call defensive holding here.
Holding. Number 99 of the defense. Yeah. The results of the play. First down.
Jake East called for the penalty.
Where did they call? They called that on the nose guard. I tell you. Okay. Sweet call, man. Who'd they call it? They called it on East, you said?
Unless I got that number wrong. I thought they said 98.
It was either East or Hessler.
And Lamson goes down with the walls closing in on him.
I just think it's funny that did they call it on a nose? It was either the nose guard or the nose tackle for holding an offensive lineman. Okay.
And again, with how good this Idaho State front on defense has been this season. Montana State 328 yards on the ground. They swing it out. Colson Kuhn upended.
Really, really nice open field tackle here by another freshman. Sound like a broken record here. Mike Lindsay out on the perimeter.
the nephew of NBA Hall of Famer Reggie Miller. Long career with the Indiana Pacers. Really good story, by the way. He would play basketball, obviously, with Reggie, and he would try talking trash to Reggie Miller. What he would do, he would come back and hit 9 straight shots. I don't think that's the guy you want to trash talk in the driveway.
No, it's not.
False start. Number 9. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Ryan King doesn't listen to me enough because I say it every week. It's a never for a wide receiver. Never be offsides for a wide receiver. Ever. You're not listening to me, Ben.
What?
Exactly. Exactly. I would imagine Sam Mix, his position coach, will follow up with him on it.
Split wideouts, 3rd, and a long way to go, and ripped in the backfield. Makad Tuakoi able to track down Justin Lamson to force 4th down.
Yeah, it's a nice job by them. You can just see that little up and under, not well protected by that Cat offensive line. Nice job by them forcing one of the few Bobcat punts today, Ben.
Sack number 4 today for Idaho State. Lamson not happy over on the sideline. With the play clock winding down, Froker gives it away, I should say.
Great punt.
Yeah, inside the 10. As the sun starts to come out here in Bozeman, and we got a rainbow sighting as well.
Well, we're back here at Bobcat Stadium. We got a 41-14 slaughter right now, Ben.
Yeah, as we take a look once again at our fan zone, sponsored by Marsh McLennan Agency again. A big thanks to all of you who submitted your photos this afternoon. I like the dog with the Bobcat hat on.
You always are partial to the dog.
I'm such a dog lover, man. Up the gut as the new QB is in for Idaho State. They go to Davis Harsin, who will take over here in the 4th quarter. Of course, the son of head coach Brian Harsin, formerly at Auburn, Boise State. Looking to provide a spark here early on in the 4th quarter. Another clean pocket. And a good connection there to Shulikov once again.
Yeah, his old man's won a lot of football games, mostly at Boise. The Auburn made a lot of money. I'll say that. Had a couple good buddies coach down there with him. Found out it's a little different down in the South.
He'll tuck it and run, and a physical run to pick up a 1st down. And with Jordan Cook missing some time back in September, Harsin getting some run, Jackson Sharman getting some run as well in that New Mexico game. And you look at Harsin, full display right there, very physical and also super accurate with the football.
No doubt. I mean, coming into the game, he's had 421 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Over the middle, denied. Brock Steele with the deflection.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself because this thing hits him right in the hand. You can see him retreat. Well, that would have been a tough catch. There's no question about it.
That would have been number 1 on SportsCenter if he one-handed that.
That would have been pretty sweet.
2 straight weeks where Montana State got into top 2 of top plays. Duarte motions to the top of the screen, 2nd down, back to the screen game again. Nunnally mazes his way through, and a 1st down for the Bengals.
Yeah, that's where Coach Sean Howe, he wants that second group to be just as sharp as the first group, because the first group's been very sharp. I mean, I know they had some explosive plays, but the standard's the standard. You got to go make those tackles. If you are Coulter Petrie, who's been making a lot of tackles. I mean, he's gotten a lot of playing time in the last few weeks.
His 8th tackle of the season, not only leading the way, by the way, for Idaho State, 159 yards receiving today. New set of downs, and a laser delivered midfield. And Shulikov once again makes the catch.
Well, I'm glad you can still see he's kind of hobbling a little bit. I mean, again, he took a heck of a shot from Caden Dollar and others in the first half, but I mean, he's just such a big, long weapon. They need him moving forward.
22-yard pitch and catch, and for more on that tall wideout, back down to Grace.
You guys were saying it earlier. Michael Shulikov didn't play football his first 2 years at Idaho State. He was a track and field athlete for 2 years, broke records in the high jump. Then he came over to the football team and has been absolutely explosive for them. And Coach Hawkins said, really his personality shines, guys. You know, he's someone who wants to clean up the locker room on an away trip. He's going to be the first guy in, last guy out type of player.
Dason Brooks getting the carry there, and now he's a little hobbled up. I mean, it's just such a cool story talking about Mike Shulikov, to carry on with what Grace said. During his senior year, while wearing tennis shoes and jeans, he and a buddy started messing around when they saw the high jump pit nearby in high school. And again, tennis shoes and jeans, was clearing 5'10", 6 foot with no approach. And one of his high school football assistant coaches was also the head track coach and took notice and had him come out for the track team. And what does he do? Becomes a track star in the state of Idaho and also at Idaho State. Incomplete over the middle.
Yeah, it's a great story. We've called Duarte's name a bunch, and that's a very, you don't see him drop a lot of footballs like that.
We get an injured Bengal down on the field. They'll tend to him, and we'll take a break here in Bozeman. No question, a great player to come out of Pocatello. One of the best ever come out of the Big Sky. Jared Allen, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I mean, just what a force he was, especially for those Minnesota Vikings days.
Incredible football player. He, you know, having coached against him in the early to mid 2000s there at Montana, you just look across the field and you see that guy and you're like, how on earth is that dude in this league at this school? He's a phenomenal football player and very cool. I think about this time last year, Ben, you and I were doing the broadcast and I said, hey, NFL, do the right thing, put him in, and sure enough, he went in, and well deserved. You guys are freaking savage.
3-time All Big Sky Conference selection, where he finished his career with Idaho State with 250 tackles, 38.5 sacks, 73 tackles for losses, 7 fumble recoveries, 13 forced fumbles. My goodness, man.
Yeah. And he holds most of the records as a D lineman for the Minnesota Vikings, like you were saying.
Yep.
He just had a heck of a career. It wasn't his only stop, but obviously his longest and most productive stop.
4th down and 8. Harsin. Pressure coming, floats it off his back heel, and a one-handed grab. Michael Shulikov.
Wow. Wow. This is a catch, because this isn't a great ball by Harsin here. Again, they're bringing pressure. He throws off his back foot. It's behind him.
Wow.
Wow.
Quickly to the line. To the 25. Well, to quote Cody Hawkins again, it's not a 50-50 ball with Michael Shulikov. It's like a 70-30 ball.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he was talking about those kind of balls, but great catch by him. I feel like that's worthy of something being shown on maybe ESPN.
Harsin.
You can't back it up with that, though, Ben.
With a missile over the middle.
Yeah, you can't have a great catch and then let it just thud off your chest like that. We've seen him do that a couple times today, actually. Well,
even last year when we were in Pocatello.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Third and 6. Bobcats will only bring 4. And drilled. Open field tackle. 4th down, Seth Johnson.
This is a great, he's gambling a little bit, I'm not going to lie, because he saw an opportunity. If he doesn't make this tackle, this is all on him because he's out leveraged. But he takes it, shoots it, makes the play. Great job by Seth Johnson. Again, we keep talking about this secondary. I hope everybody realizes that every player in the 2 deep in this secondary returns for not just 1 but 2 years.
Deep shot, incomplete. On 4th down, once again, trying to get it to the top wideout with Idaho State. But the Bobcat offense holds once again, like they've done all season long. All right, fans, once again, time to check in on this week's Williams Plumbing and Heating poll. Since the NCAA started recognizing sacks as an official stat in 2000, which of these players had the most in a single season? And I called it. I mean, were you really expecting anybody else?
No. I didn't know if it was like that one dude on ESPN. It was a trick question.
Patrick Duchesne in the game, by the way.
Yeah, no, Jared Allen, though. God, that guy was special. Really special.
Of course, the poll question sponsored by Williams Plumbing and Heating as Jared White takes off with a stiff arm, and he'll scoot out of bounds. Visit willplum.com to register for a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Cats or Grizz game.
Yeah, this is. I think this is going to come back because it's going to be on a hold on Rocky Lancioni, who we've called a bunch. He's blocking the heck out of his guy.
Holding. Number 89 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
I was about to send a letter to the opponent's parents saying, we apologize, but your son was just blocked to death. But you got to let go. You can't. That's a great run by Elijah Elliott that's coming back.
Patrick Duchesne, another native Montanan. Montana Player of the Year in 2022. 2 straight titles in his high school days. As he'll keep it. And he'll scamper out of bounds.
Yeah, he's an athletic young man. Florence, just south of Missoula there, down the valley. It's a beautiful area, Ben. I'll just assume you've never been there, but it is gorgeous.
This is the first time in 4 years where I actually get to have an extended stay here in Bozeman in the Gallatin Valley. Yeah, I actually get to experience Montana a little more this week.
Are you going down to the park?
Yep, on Monday.
Very good. Enjoy. Get to watch a geyser go off. You're going to see it for one time. You're like, okay, that was cool. I don't ever have to see it again, but okay, cool.
Jared White trying to get every inch he can. He'll be stopped short, 3rd down. And we were talking about this during one of the breaks. Idaho State, in a tight one last week against Montana, had that opportunity to win in the ICCU Dome. But they come to Bozeman today, down 41-14. I mean, 2 completely different games for Cody Hawkins' bunch the last 2 weeks.
It was dominant. I mean, dominant by the Cats today. I mean, again, you and I didn't get to see much of the game because we were flying back from Flag. I know you got to watch, and I watched it the next day. You know, and just seeing the score in Missoula for homecoming, they're down to Cal Poly. I'm questioning how good Montana is. You know, are they that good? Because they've been in some close ones, but found ways to win, which is what they do with Bobby Hauck as the head coach. But I mean, I just told you at the break, I said, if this game's in Pocatello, I think it's a very similar outcome, you know, so I don't know, man. It's a funky league right now. You know, Cal Poly has gotten better. Compliments to Coach Wolf, who I know wasn't he there when you were in school there, or not? I'm not sure. But he's a good coach, and he's doing a good job. They're getting better. But again, Cal Poly, you know, beating you, you get the throwbacks going, and that, you know, they barely got out of Pocatello last week with the win, and the Cats have just dominated this outfit.
Fair catch called. And now word from the Whitefish Credit Union.
Montanans the best way to save. Whitefish Credit Union certificates are available now.
And we do have a flag, by the way, on the punt.
After the play, personal foul. Number 11 of the kicking team. The 15 yards will be added to the fair catch spot. 1st down.
Well, I think we also talked about this too. Because you see the throwbacks, and I will say I do prefer the copper and gold over the maroon and silver. But you and I kind of talked about this. Down 9-0 to Cal Poly. If they lose to Cal Poly at home, I think they're probably going to put those away for a little while, probably.
Well, yeah.
And that's another shocker right there.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, they look great. I mean, I remember when we broke them out in 2008 versus the Cats, and we went on to just wax them. But you got to play great in them too. They better start doing some stuff offensively.
Oh, picked off. Interception. It looked like Brock Steele with the pick. It was.
It was. Get out the cowboy hat, Ben.
Ruling on the field, the ball was intercepted by the defense.
What can't that family do?
I don't know. And he actually, he's from Wyoming. He is a cowboy, so he can look good. And it's going to be awfully big on his head. Great job, recognize it, dropping back into coverage. Probably a little late dropping into coverage, but he did. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Give him the hat.
The lineage just continues here in Bozeman. Split backs as they start in excellent field position. Duchesne on the keeper to the 30. There's the hat.
There it is. Great looking hat. Well made too. Lots of fans dressed up as empty seats as we close out the last 3 minutes here. But, compliments to Bobcat Nation. They showed out when the weather was pretty crappy.
Well, for a while, we thought we were going to have an amazing old-school Big Sky shootout with the amount of points that we were seeing back in the first half. But Montana State just rolls. Duchesne on the read, bouncing to the outside. Patrick Duchesne leaps for the pylon and just short.
Yeah, you were talking about number 30 there. You're going to see this maybe from the end. Look at he doesn't have a clue where the ball is. Patty Ice just running scot-free. He does catch up to push him out of bounds there. Mike Lindsay, I'm talking, but almost a day late, $1 short. Nice job saving the touchdown. However, you get this Cat offense in inside their own 5. Good things usually happen.
Valson also in the game for Montana State at tight end, and Duchesne finds his way in for 6.
Patty Ice, he's got ice in his veins. Little zone read. Touchdown Bobcats. That's just that split zone. I keep talking about it, and again, I like the looks of this number 80, Lubin's. Is it Basson? How do I pronounce his last name?
Valson.
Valson, that's it. Apologize. But he's a good-looking athlete, good young athlete. Like Coach Began was saying, he's got, he's probably the most explosive guy with the most pop in that room. You give him another year of development, we'll be looking at the next Rohan Jones, who's starting for Arkansas, by the way.
Right.
Derek Snell-esque, as he continues to get in Sean Heron's weight room and put on some weight and muscle. A lot of good young talent on that team.
Fans, get ready for game day with Megan Robinson during this week in Big Sky football. You'll hear from your favorite coaches and players, plus get an insider's look at the conference. Watch every Saturday on this Scripps Sports station. You can also check local listings for times in your area. Yeah, not the game that we were expecting early on. 48-14 Montana State. And I mean, the Big Sky this year in general has been really, really interesting. Like you saw, Northern Colorado in the Kiwi Dome right now up 21-7 on Idaho. Cal Poly now up 9-7 as Montana was able to get in the end zone. Cody Hawkins and Idaho State. Again, you and I talked about this. I don't think the record really shows how dangerous of a team Idaho State can be. I mean, they almost beat the Grizz last week. They had some good performances, like you said, against some FBS opponents. But today, here in Bozeman, just no answers against the number 5 team in the land.
Yeah, well, first, they kicked another football out of bounds, which is every game, it seems like.
35-yard line, first down.
But secondly, that's where, I jokingly, not jokingly asked Coach Hawkins there. You can see a good shot of him. Like, stop scheduling those FBS games. I mean, especially teams like UNLV and New Mexico, they're not really paying you, that $750,000 million that some of the FCS programs are going to big schools. Schedule a Drake or a San Diego or someone where you feel like you can go play well and win and start building up that confidence. Learn how to win. Winning is hard. It's hard to win a game. I feel like, stop setting them up for failure. Let them get some early season wins, and then you never know. As funky as the Big Sky is, you were just saying, I don't know, just, help this coach, help this staff learn how to win.
Well, to be fair, that Lincoln game, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they were supposed to play Central Arkansas.
Yes,
I believe,
sir.
correct? Yes.
You're right.
So that was not a game that was they had to schedule that one basically last minute.
Yeah, it's kind of what the Cats had to do last year with Mercier.
Exactly.
When Stephen F. Austin quit.
Not much there as we have the 2-minute timeout. Winding down this one here in Bozeman. Montana State with another dominant performance. 48-14 here in Bozeman. And talk about efficiency. In Flagstaff, back here in Bozeman, in his hometown, Rocky Lencioni, our player of the game, sponsored by Whitefish Credit Union.
Yeah, we gave it to the youngster. I like it. I thought Adam Jones had a heck of a day, but, I guess you and our producer and everyone else, no. Listen, Lencioni deserved it. He's put a run of 2 great weeks. Love seeing these tight ends involved in the game plan, and they're getting them the football and they're scoring.
Over the middle, and a strike into Bobcat territory, but there is a flag.
Shocker, Ben. Another flag.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
There's Coach Hawkins.
It's the Big 12, brother. You want to play intramurals? Great coach, great guy, great dad, great grandpa. He's a good man.
Here's the granddaughter back. I gotta continue working.
Well, that's the best part about being a grandparent. You can enjoy the heck out of the grandkids, then give them back.
3rd and 12. That one hauled in and out of bounds, as that one was delivered to Julian Mason. 4th down.
4th down.
Carson Williams with the stop.
Yeah. 4th down. Bring out the punt team. Let's get the heck out of here is what they're saying.
As we continue to wind down this one here at Bobcat Stadium. Fair catch from Dane Steele. And now word from the Whitefish Credit Union.
Montanans the best way to save. Whitefish Credit Union certificates are available now.
570 total yards for Montana State. 386 yards on the ground.
Yeah, and like we were saying at half and continued on, when you outrush the opponent by 350 yards, man, that is soul-taking. And they did. They took their souls today. And, I think Idaho State had to have felt really good about their performance last week, even though they came up short. But, I mean, this is going to be a long 2 weeks for them. I know they got to get some dudes healthy. They got a very talented NAU coming up in 2 weeks. But, my goodness, that was... They came out throwing punches, but they just couldn't keep it going. As Mike Tyson used to say, Ben, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, and eventually about midway through the first quarter, end of the first quarter, the Bobcats punched him in the mouth, and they just never responded.
Well, even with a loss, you just enjoy the time with the kids. Cody Hawkins embracing Brent Vegan in midfield.
This is the end of the game.
As Brent Vegan's squad remains undefeated in Big Sky play, 48-14. Number 5, Montana State, and Rocky Lencioni, the hometown kid with Grace Lawrence.
Well, Rocky, we used to do these interviews down the street when you were a Hawk over at Van Winkle, and you've really come onto the scene this year. Just describe this first year playing for the Cats.
It's just been fun. Kind of coming into my own in the room and getting the opportunities I have. I'm really grateful, and it's just been awesome. I'm proud of our guys, and especially the way we played these last couple weeks.
A touchdown on the road last week, 2 touchdowns today. How comfortable are you getting in this offense as the season progresses?
Yeah, I think it's just Coach Sturbick, Coach Walsh, our whole staff, and then all the older guys kind of bringing me along and helping me out. They make my life really easy. So.
Your tight end room, so reliable. What do you credit to that?
It's just a standard. There's a lot of guys that we've followed in the footsteps. Pick Snow, Lonnie Rowe, and obviously Schlepp. Just the foundation he's laid and the standard he has. We want to uphold it and see if we can lift it even higher. So just trying to live up to that and, just playing as a room. We love each other and understand that our success is each other's success.
A well-earned bye week. How are you guys going to spend it?
Yeah, it's going to be good. We'll get some guys back. But I think we'll still be practicing 3 or 4 days, full pad, so it'll be fun.
Congrats on the win, Rocky. Guys.
Yeah, that tight end bunch really coming through for Montana State as the Bobcats win once again 48-14. For those of you watching in select markets, switch to the spot MTN to catch the end of Cal Poly and Montana. A good one going on about 3 hours west of here in Missoula. If you're viewing us in Missoula, we will take you there in just a couple of seconds. For everyone else, we're off to regular programming. But first, from everyone here at Scripps Sports, we want to thank all of you for watching here on a wet day at Bobcat Stadium. Once again, the final score, number 5, Montana State 48, Idaho State 14. For Ty Gregorak, Grace Lawrence, and the rest of our always terrific Scripps Sports crew, especially our cameraman who braved the elements today, I'm Ben Creighton saying so long from Bozeman, where the Bobcats remain undefeated in Big Sky play. So long, everyone.